she'd been that person. She'd made so many mistakes. Lost in the view and her own thoughts, she didn't hear him enter. She wasn't aware of his presence until she felt his hand on her shoulder and the sound of his voice. "Catherine." She jumped and slammed the lid of her laptop shut. Her heart hammered like a fist against a punching bag. How much had he seen? She was annoyed with herself for not having had the foresight to lock the door. She'd been so absorbed by her thoughts that she hadn't heard him enter the room. Careless. She needed to up her game if she was actually going to do this. She needed to think like an assassin. She needed to be inscrutable and reveal nothing. She turned with a smile. Did assassins ever smile? She had no idea. "I didn't know you were awake." "It's early." "I didn't mean to surprise you. I know you hate being disturbed when you're working, but I woke up and missed you. I came to offer you strong coffee." He brushed his fingers across her jaw. "You look tense. Is something wrong?" So much for being inscrutable. She wasn't built for a life of crime. But fortunately, she wasn't considering a whole life. Just this one teeny-tiny murder. That was it. She had no expectations of enjoying it and didn't intend it to become habitual. Nothing's wrong. She couldn't even lie without feeling guilty, which didn't bode well. They shared everything. Well, almost everything. But there was no way she was sharing this. Not yet. One day, maybe, if she actually went ahead with it. If it all went as planned, then, of course, he'd find out. But until then, she had to keep silent. This was something she had to do by herself. What would he say if he knew what was really going on in her head? Would he try to talk her out of it? Tell her that her plan was foolish and dangerous? Or would he preach acceptance and tell her that she just had to let it go? That this wasn't the answer? He'd probably tell her to move on. And that was what she was doing, of course. This was her way of moving on, and not before time. He bent to kiss her. "I love you, Catherine Swift." She felt the brush of his lips and the answering warmth that rushed through her body. It felt jarring to go from death to love. But that was life, wasn't it? Brutal in its extremes. And assassins were people too. They were allowed a love life. For the first time in weeks, she felt optimistic and hopeful. She'd been smothered in a dark cloud of gloom fueled by bitter resentment. She'd felt like a failure for letting it reach this point. She hadn't been able to see a way forward, but now she could. The future was clear to her. All she needed was courage. It was time to make a fresh start. Time to put the past behind her and reinvent herself. It was just a shame that someone had to die. Part 1. 1. Adeline. Adeline Swift was on a call with the features editor of Woman Now when the letter was pushed through the door of her apartment. "The thing is," Erin was saying, "your advice column has the highest readership of any section of the magazine. People really seem to connect with it, with you. The market research we did..."